We're on a nice steady ground and sponsorship is coming back for us, thankfully. That's awfully hard in the recession. The business is sound and we're going forward. Yeah, good for your business, asshole. How about for the drivers who are trying to make a name for themselves, who are trying to make a career as a driver, who don't even care about the business aspect. They could care less if they've got McDonald's sprawled all over their vehicle. They just want to drive. Sure, they might be angry that the paycheck's a little lower, but if they're really legitimate drivers doing this because of their love of the sport and not out of the fact that they're getting millions and millions of dollars, if they truly love it, they'd still come back regardless of how broadcast it is, of how many times Subway is mentioned, of how many goddamn makes there are. Bring Dodge back, goddammit. Bring back Dodge. Hashtag bring back Dodge. Let me get into the, they didn't mention this in the article, but he does mention it in the video. He talks a little bit about how the championship, the chase, has changed yet again. For about the 12th year straight, it has changed again. And he thinks that it puts in more emphasis on winning. Well, wins are kind of points now. Kind of. Like, they really think that there's not going to be 16 different winners. But with all these rained out races, you never know at this point. With all these wind out races, I'm pretty sure there's going to be 16 different drivers this year. It may not come before the cutoff, but it might come after. I think there's going to be 16 different winners this year. And if points really don't matter anymore, then get rid of them. They still have points. Get rid of them. You don't need points. 1 win, 10 points. Second place, 5 points. Third place, 3 points. Fourth place, 2 points. Fifth place, 1 point. Beyond that, lickety-zip, unless you get the most laps led, which is a bonus point. That's how you make people go for the win. That's how you make the cars come closer together. And if you do what I say, you lower the horsepower, you make it cheaper for vehicles to be able to, for anyone to come in, that they don't need these big name sponsors. Bill France, I'm so sorry, Bill France. I'm so sorry that I keep mistaking you for this horrible individual. Brian France, listen to what I gotta say right now. If you make the vehicles cheaper to produce, you won't need big name sponsors dumping all of their money into putting together the parts of these cars. Which means that more sponsors will be open to it, because then they won't have to spend as much money on you. Huh? You catching my drift now? How about put this one on for size? Slow down the vehicles and tighten the pack together. Because if the vehicles have a speed limit now, if it's 190, 185, let's just say 185 miles per hour is now the top speed for all vehicles. All vehicles must be tested, like post-race and pre-race inspections have to be tested, and if they go over like 185.9 miles per hour, then they're like flagged, fined $25,000, but no points, because points are going to be a little tough to come by with this whole top 5 thing. No points, just $25,000 or something. And I mean, this is without the draft, by the way. I mean, this has to be a car on its own, pushing itself, no one else out there, just like about 10 laps, telemetry style. 10 laps around the racetrack, just if it goes over 185.9 miles per hour, then it's up, and you're fined to 25,000. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? Now, if the car is going slower in the first place, then there's no need to buy all these really expensive parts, put all this polish in, get these amazing builders in. There's no need for all the extra stuff. So less money will be spent, which means less money out of the sponsor's back pocket, which means happier sponsor. Their product's being exposed, and they're not paying so much. That'll drive in more and more businesses. You really want this business aspect to go through? Then slow down the cars. That's where you start. And once you slow down the cars, then they won't need to pay so much, which means I have this just disgusting cluster of zits right here. It's really, really obvious in this camera, and I hate that, and I apologize. It feels so obvious to me. I don't care if sponsors ever... I don't care at all about sponsorships. But if you really need sponsorships, then this is how you do it. You make them pay less, and that'll get them exposed more. And more for exposure, how about? Let's give you some more for exposure. When the cars slow down and they have a speed limit that is lower than most of the speed limits that they push now anyway, well then, all the cars will bunch up together. If the slowest car at Daytona right now, like, if, let's say a different track so it feels a little bit more even now. How about, like, Chicagoland? We'll just say Chicagoland out of the blue. The slowest car there is, let's say, Alex Bowman. He's driving 190. And the fastest car is Jimmy Johnson. He's going 202. Well, if you limit the cars to 185 miles per hour, then Alex Bowman's going 185, and Jimmy Johnson's going 185. That means that Alex Bowman's no longer 2 laps down. He's now 2 seconds down. He's right there at all times. The pack is bunched together. The draft is utilized more than ever just to get that extra edge out of the vehicle. Just to get those 2 little miles per hour to make the difference down the back stretch, through the corners. And who knows, maybe this will limit the amount of lanes. Maybe the cars being slower throughout the whole track will make the inside lane the more dominant lane at every racetrack. Which means Bristol-style racing, old Bristol-style racing, like 90s Bristol-style racing at every track. Every track's a shortcut track now. Even like Darlington... Like the only tracks that I don't think would be affected by this so much, and the racing would remain mostly the same except for dominant vehicles, would be at restrictor plate races. I feel it's so obvious. It'll cut... If anyone, tell me why I'm wrong. I really want to know why I'm wrong. I really want to know why Brian France doesn't try this out for 1 year. And I'll get to the chase in a second. Why doesn't he try it out for 1 year? Just to see. Like, not even a year. If it's bad for like the first 10 races, then go right back. Change the rule mid-season. If it's not good, change it back. And I want someone to give me a really, really good reason why this won't work. Please, in the comments section, send me your own response video. Just tell me why I'm wrong. Why am I wrong? Why is this wrong? It feels so right.